Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, Tzu Chi volunteers in Taiwan welcome the second batch of overseas volunteers as they come home to gain wisdom. In New Zealand, Linwood College in Christchurch hands a special award to Tzu Chi volunteers for their love and dedication in their school. Finally, in Japan, Tzu Chi volunteers visit Rishho Kosei Kai to show the animation of Venerable Jianzhen's journey to spread Buddhism in Japan. We start the show in Taiwan. The second Overseas Volunteers Training Seminar kicked off earlier this week in New Taipei cities Shanchong and Banqiao. At the Banqiao Tzu Chi grounds, 517 volunteers from across China gain a deeper understanding of the Tzu Chi spirit and Master Cheng Yen's ideals and philosophy. But first, let's join another group of overseas volunteers at the Shanchong Tzu Chi grounds as 34 Southern African volunteers brush up on their Tzu Chi etiquette.
A member of the Tzu Chi family, Haiti Tzu Chi volunteer Daniel, is very warm and welcoming.
My job is to teach, when I learn here. So I came here to make a provision, to learn, to see the example of the other Tzu Chi brothers.
Having come to Taiwan with a heart to learn, these volunteers start with a lesson in etiquette. They learn how to fold their duvets into perfect squares, as well as how to hold chopsticks, not easy for those who are used to using knives and forks. As soon as the 34 volunteers from South Africa, Mozambique and Lesotho arrive, they immediately dive into a lesson of dining etiquette.
I want to have foods. I must make use of the public usage chopsticks and stay apart, not keep on top.
At the recycling station, knowledge can be found everywhere. Often hearing of the work recycling bodhisattvas do, today these overseas volunteers got to try it themselves.
Less. In the material, yes. Okay? Yes. And we need to put our gloves. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Another one. Here is another one.
Yeah.
Having traveled across oceans, these volunteers will take what they have learned in Taiwan and lead their peers by example once back home. Meanwhile, here at the Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds, more than 500 volunteers from China take notes and listen attentively to the Dharma and wisdom of the Jingsi Abode masters.
Back in the old days, the Jingsi Abode masters lived by the philosophy of no work, no food. Their spirit is something we should try to emulate. When doing any task, we have to equip ourselves with three things, and that is to have the innocence of a child, the endurance of a camel, and the courage of a lion.
This group of Tzu Chi volunteers set their work aside to come to Taiwan to better understand the origins of Tzu Chi. They vow to incorporate what they have learned here into their daily lives.
Sometimes in life, there are temptations and worries that can sway you, but only by pulling through it can you reap the rewards afterwards. During your most troubled time is when you need to be the most diligent.
With unwavering determination, Tzu Chi volunteers all share a common goal of purifying hearts, and in the process, their lives have become more wholesome and richer as a result.
In our next report, let's meet Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteer Dai Junwei, who returned to Taiwan in the first session of Overseas Volunteers Training Seminar. Dai lost his sight in one eye after a serious car accident. In the beginning, the man once thought about giving up on his life. Thankfully, after becoming a Tzu Chi media volunteer, he is now optimistic and live a life full of gratitude as he helps to write Tzu Chi's great sutra treasury.
Led by the CEO of Dai TV, Tang Jianming, representatives from Tzu Chi's Humanitarian Center arrived at the Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds to share their stories with global Tzu Chi volunteers.
The goal of Dai TV is to capture the moments and spread the Dharma far and wide. Without all of you capturing the footprints of Tzu Chi volunteers in aid distributions or free clinics, Dai News wouldn't be that interesting.
Looking at the footage captured by global media volunteers, among the trainees at the Overseas Tzu Chi Volunteer Training Seminar is media volunteer Dai Junwei, who can only see with one eye after a car accident years ago.
I fainted right after the car accident and I had to go through 3 surgeries. The doctor told my family that I wasn't going to make it.
Facing his ordeal, Dai Junwei once thought about giving up on life. Thankfully, after becoming a media volunteer, Dai has regained the strength to move on.
There are many people that are worse off than I am. I remember meeting a care recipient that lost one of his hands. He was still able to do many things with only one hand. So I say to myself, at least I still have an eye that can see things clearly. With a change of heart, everything will be better. It is more convenient for me to take a picture with only one eye because I won't have to close the other eye. It saves me a lot of energy and time too.
Staying in Taiwan, students of the Guandu Chisao class recently paid a visit to the veterans' home in Sansha District. Through interacting with the senior residents, many students have learned to repent for their past mistakes and promise to spread their love and care to even more people.
Respectfully offering a cup of tea and giving the seniors a massage, today's students of the Guandu Chisao class are here at a veteran home in Sansha District to accompany these seniors that have once protected our country. On stage, the performances by Shaos bring useful energy to the veteran home. The children also sing a famous old Mandarin song to entertain the seniors.
The performance was great. This little girl over here took really good care of me, and she gave me things to eat. It was very nice of her.
The senior treated me like his granddaughter. I hope I can come here more often in the future to chat and perform for them. They are really cute and willing to interact with us.
Through interacting with the senior residents, these children have not only warmed the hearts of their elders, but also realized their past mistakes.
Before, I didn't pay much attention to my grandparents. Since they are no longer around, I can't accompany them anymore. I will treat these seniors like my own grandparents.
Thanks to the visit, the children not only brought happiness to the seniors, but also discovered the joy of selfless giving. In the years to come, these students promise to spread their love and care to even more people.
2 years ago, Christchurch, New Zealand, suffered from a massive earthquake that left much damage in its wake. Tzu Chi volunteers were not far behind in helping with relief efforts. To this day, volunteers continue to help. In Linwood College, Tzu Chi volunteers have been providing weekly meals to needy students since last May. Recently, at the school's graduation ceremony, the Tzu Chi Foundation was given a Service to the College award to honor all the good they have done for the school.
Tonight we'd like you to accept this award, and we thank you very much for all that you have given us.
At the graduation ceremony for Christchurch Linwood College in New Zealand, the mayor, Leanne Dalziel, presents a Service to the College award to Tzu Chi Foundation, which volunteer Chen Mei-yu accepts on behalf of the organization. In the wake of the earthquake tragedy 2 years ago, Tzu Chi volunteers started to safeguard the citizens of Christchurch. On one encounter, they visited Linwood College and saw many impoverished students also in need of assistance. As a result, since May of last year, volunteers have started to provide weekly lunches to over 100 students, giving them the energy and ability to concentrate in class.
They provide a meal every week for our students, and it's absolutely stunning. They've come back to me and said, "Are you sure you don't want to change the menu from sushi?" I said, "No."
The next day, Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Mei-yu brought the award to share with community volunteers who are preparing lunch for the students.
Take a look, everyone. This award is very pretty. It represents the hard work and love you put into helping Linwood College.
So thank you for everything you've done for the school and continue to do. It's incredibly generous, and from the bottom of our heart, thank you so much.
It's the gratitude from students themselves that encourages Tzu Chi volunteers to continue their dedication in helping with recovery efforts. On November 13th, the 17th Cross-Strait Relations and Mainland News Reporting Award announced its winners. Among the recipients of the award, both Rhythms Monthly as well as ITV's broadcasting department received recognition for their outstanding contributions.
The announcement reaffirmed the hard work of ITV's broadcasting department in Sichuan. 5 years ago, Sichuan experienced one of the deadliest earthquakes of the century, which was followed by the Yan earthquake a few years later, testing once again the will of local residents. In her coverage, Zhang Jialing brought out the goodness of people helping each other in times of need.
I witnessed the goodness which shone through people helping one another. I am grateful to the Master for her guidance along the way, and that is to bring out the kindness in humanity through truth, goodness, and beauty.
Also, a recipient of the award was Rhythms Monthly for its coverage on women known as Majie. These women migrated from the Pearl River Delta to escape marriage and served rich families mainly in Southeast Asia.
This topic was a bit of a dark horse, but we are grateful to have been given the resources to find them and record their stories. So we want to thank Tzu Chi Foundation for its support.
These award-winning works have been captured in a professional perspective, and their humble stories have helped bring out the goodness in humanity for all to see.
Recently, at the Hualien TCH Hospital in Taiwan, volunteers dressed up as costume characters to teach young children the proper way to wash their hands. The colorful characters were delightful children who not only had a great time playing with the dressed-up volunteers, but also came away with knowing a thing or two about hand washing. Let's take a look.
示范一下，打开水龙头，好，双水冲出来，冲一冲水。
Here in Taiwan, costume characters are here to teach the young patients at the Hualien TCH Hospital a bit about hand washing.
Water, scrub, wash, clean, dry. Wash your hands before a meal and after using the restroom.
The hand washing song leaves a deep impression on the children as they dance and sing along with the costume characters.
They are very creative when it comes to hygiene education. They tell stories and are very energetic. The volunteers are able to capture the children's attention and get them to listen. Our hospital can learn a lot from their ways of teaching.
The costume characters also visit young patients in their hospital beds, where they perform magic acts to wish the children a fast recovery. In Taiwan, a delegation of the Environmental Committee from Italy visited the Nehu Tzu Chi grounds, where they learned how plastic bottles are turned into Tzu Chi's signature blankets. Through volunteers' introduction to Tzu Chi's environmental missions, the members were motivated to bring this knowledge and spirit back home and change their environment for the better. Here's more.
At the Nehu Tzu Chi grounds, the Italian delegate tries on Tzu Chi's blanket. Learning that the blankets are made from plastic bottles, these foreign guests are all impressed.
I was surprised when I touched the environmental blanket. I knew that plastic bottles can be turned into polyester fiber, but I didn't know they can be reused and made into blankets. It is quite soft and warm.
Later, these delegates join the volunteers in flattening plastic bottles, something they have not done before. Through their personal practice of recycling, the foreign guests are impressed and moved by Tzu Chi's environmentally friendly spirit.
The
know-how of Taiwan's recycling is worth learning. We can bring home these useful ideas.
As the day of the tour concludes on a perfect note, these Italian guests will take Tzu Chi's positive messages back home and influence their fellow citizens for the better.
Turning our camera to Japan, a Buddhist religious group known as Rishho Kosei Kai invited Tzu Chi volunteers to their Yokohama branch to hold a viewing of the animation film featuring the journey of Venerable Jianzhen to Japan. Tzu Chi volunteers later also took the opportunity to put on a sign language performance for their Buddhist peers. Through the moving animation, audience members are taken back 1,200 years to when Venerable Jianzhen first made his treacherous journey to Japan to spread Buddhism there.
I'm a Buddhist and am currently studying the Dharma, yet I often am unable to put into practice what I'm studying. As I continue to put myself first, I really need to let go of my ego and actualize my studies. The performance was refreshing and pure. Although the volunteers were not professional actors, they were very dedicated to their performance. It was quite moving to see. You can see the hard work they have put into it. The audience consisted of members of the Rishho Kosei Kai Buddhist Society, an organization devoted to sutra study and charitable works. Its members later acknowledged the good that Tzu Chi has been doing through their gifts of the day's donation to Tzu Chi.
We are both Buddhist organizations, so it's very important to learn and exchange ideas by using different methods.
As all are disciples of Sakyamuni Buddha, Tzu Chi and Rishho Kosei Kai are sure to remain the best of partners. Moving to Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers and nursing staff from the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center visited Serabang Jaya Hospital to introduce Tzu Chi's 4 missions and how the Tzu Chi Butterworth Dialysis Center helps the needy and poor. At the end of the hour talk, many hospital staff was moved to adopt a bamboo coin bank to further spread Tzu Chi's missions in their communities. Let's take a look.
47 years ago, this Buddhist.
The mission today for these nurses and staff from Tzu Chi is to introduce the Buddhist NGO. Holding a seminar to discuss the availability of community resources, Malaysia's Serberang Jaya Hospital invited members of the Tzu Chi Foundation to discuss its work and the running of its dialysis center here in Malaysia.
Actually, today we come here to introduce Tzu Chi to the government staff and also to let them know what is our activity and how our volunteer, our staff giving care to our patients.
It's very touching video clips. I wish they were given more time where we can hear more stories.
After the lecture finished, several of the hospital nursing staff adopted a bamboo coin bank as they too wanted to help the needy.
I will put my Tzu Chi bamboo coin bank inside the hospital and invite my fellow staff members to put coins in it every day. When it's full, I will return it to Tzu Chi.
Today wasn't just about sharing Tzu Chi's medical mission, but also about spreading Tzu Chi's ideals to more people. The Tzu Chi Ningbong Tabal Kindergarten was established in Malaysia in 2011. This year, the school will be holding its very first graduation ceremony, and students of the graduating class have been practicing for the sign language performance that they will put on during the event. Let's take a look at the sneak peek of their practice.
As we moved forward and backward, 2 kindergarteners are holding onto the legs of one of their classmates. What's going on here? Students are practicing for their upcoming sign language performance. This is Yo Qingwei, who had trouble remembering her steps. To help, Yo's 2 classmates came up with a way to help her remember.
刚开始的时候也是觉得很难。现在呢？不难呀，要谢谢我朋友。谢谢谁呢？谢谢老师，谢谢朋友，因为他们教我手语，我还会。我跟金恩。
Jinan and I grabbed her legs so she can learn the correct steps.
I grabbed her legs and taught her the steps. I am very happy for her because she has learned all of them now.
Despite the long hours of practice, with support from teachers and their own determination, these children have been able to remember all the movements.
Our students have seized every chance to practice and learn the movements. It is just like what the master said, we need to overcome difficulties, not be overcome by them.
Thanks to countless practice, these kindergarteners have not only learned to be patient, but also discovered the joy of helping others.
Over the years, to promote Master Cheng Yen's Jingsi aphorism volumes, Tzu Chi volunteers find their way into hotels around the globe. In today's report, we meet Qiu Hua Chang, who recently donated 600 copies to Hanshen International Hotel and its affiliated hotels in Kaohsiung in hopes of giving travelers spiritual sustenance and a broader outlook on life.
Here at the Hanshen International Hotel, Tzu Chi volunteers move boxes of Jingsi aphorism volumes into the lobby. The 600 Jingsi aphorism volumes are donated by Qiu Hua Chang, a successful figure in Taiwan's financial industry.
My sister has been in Tzu Chi for many years. Since we were young, we were taught to hold good thoughts in our heart, so we naturally want to do good deeds.
Inspired by his sister, who is a Tzu Chi volunteer, Qiu decided to donate copies of Jingsi aphorism volumes to Hanshen International Hotel in Kaohsiung.
The addition of Jingsi aphorism volumes enhances the image of our hotel with a sense of gratitude and blessing. Our guests also have the opportunity to absorb the wisdom of Master Cheng Yen.
The wisdom contained within the Jingsi aphorism volume can give the guests a sense of serenity. It allows them to take time out from their busy schedule to enjoy some light reading in their room.
With the Jingsi aphorism volumes, the guests of Hanshen International Hotel and its affiliated hotel in Kaohsiung can have the opportunity to gain the spiritual nourishment and expand their vision and wisdom of life.
At the end of today's program, we bring you images from Friday's .itv prayer service to help gather blessings for those affected by Typhoon Hualien in the Philippines. Led by the station's CEO staff members, also donated their love to the cause. Here at the station, we encourage all of you to donate within your means to help disaster survivors return their lives to normal as soon as possible. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. See you next week.